like I see it's in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, yeah. From the back of the I got a girl, Brad. Yeah. She go to battle, yeah. I live with birds come in. So it's like I see it's in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, yeah. From the back of the I got a girl, Brad. Yeah. She go to battle,
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Elliott, a spin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Green 39. Gone.
He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it with Elliott. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the move to his left. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Lucky 56.
Now Elliott. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Now let's go.
He'll get it up the middle. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point safely through. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. First carry for Darius Geis. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, here's Griffin. And he rifles one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
To connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Griffin to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive. The one that got him that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit! Hot! Hot!
They'll set up a throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Detroit! Detroit!
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Give to Elliott. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin. throw here. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal. Now back to throw. Forced out to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So after the penalty, here's second and 3. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump. So
the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Griffin. Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. A lot of times we talk about being opportunistic as a defense as a whole. Right now it's becoming just one guy on this defense.
And he is doing such a fantastic job because everyone emphasizes taking the ball away, going after the football. But some people just have a special knack for it. He forced 2 fumbles last week, and there he forces another one in this game.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Complete. Richardson has it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. 3rd and 2, now Griffin. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Detroit! Gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Set! Green!
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The give is to Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal. Well, you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Cowboys on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a third and goal here. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. Into the Redskins have it, they do. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it first and 10. They start on the ground with Geis. Able to spin free. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So we are at halftime. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case,
Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On second down, Griffin. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Play action. Now Griffin. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
No. Check. Patriot.
They go to Elliott again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. On the counter, Elliott. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Back to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. They'll drop the throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brashad Perriman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense? I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taco Charlton, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Eluding the pressure right, and that's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Thomas. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. To throw is RG3. Dancing to his left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra. And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Again, it's Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. He sets to fire deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Gone!
After the penalty, it's Elliott. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Into the Redskins. Have it, they do. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Steps away to his left. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On the ground, Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Redskins. Hopkins with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Set. Blue landed. Blue.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. 18 yards there and a first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
This is Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll set up a throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And that is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Thomas. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make someone miss in the open field.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's got this down to the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And a short gain down to about the 33. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Back to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Taco Charlton in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. First throw in overtime now for Griffin. Flush to his right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. They've got the jumbo set out there. A huge play in this overtime session. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Right back to him on first down. And some room to maneuver. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Washington, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.